In 2012, my guest won a Best Smile Award in her native city of Brampton. It would seem that this winning smile, combined with many other attributes, has served her well. Hi, I'm Bill Moniz, and this is Winners, a Celebration. This program is brought to you by LaUna Local 183. LaUna, feel the power. My guest didn't just win a Best Smile contest. In 2013, she was also the fortunate winner, this is her words, of a certain award that was key in helping her achieve her education goals. With me, Alyssa Gill. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I am well, and I'm very pleased to be here with you.
Thank you. I am as well.
Thank you for coming. I would like to start with your background before we talk about these awards. You were born in Brampton, as we said.
Yes.
Where you spent most of your childhood.
Yes.
What did your parents do?
So my dad worked for LaUna, Local 183, as a construction worker. And my mom is a superintendent for the region of Peel, and she just recently retired.
Ah,
yes.
Yes. So your dad was with the LaUna Local 183 doing
Yes.
what? You know exactly?
He was a foreman, a laborer. He spent over 30 years with LaUna.
Over 30 years.
Yes.
Okay. And what were your favorite activities when you were a child?
My dad was laid off a lot in the winter,
Ah.
so we used to go to the movies. I spent a lot of time with my dad. We used to play hockey and go skating. So those were a lot of things I did when I was younger, was spending my time with him.
Yeah. Happy childhood,
Very.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested in something you said here. We already know that your dad worked for LaUna Local 183. In your bio, you say, I was born into a LaUna family. And I know that you said your dad worked there for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
How did this connection with LaUna influence your childhood?
A lot of my family, so my dad has 5 brothers, they were also intertwined with LaUna. And so, with my dad working with LaUna for over 30 years, it had a huge impact on our family.
Yeah.
And LaUna is a big family.
Yeah.
So it's really impacted my life and my sister's life as we've moved.
How?
We've both actually had summer jobs at LaUna.
Oh.
So, we were impacted in having employment. The benefits are great with LaUna, and obviously winning the scholarship has impacted my adulthood.
Yeah.
And it's been a great support for my family.
As a young person, what did you do at LaUna? You didn't do labor.
No, I didn't do labor. I couldn't do labor. I worked doing administrative, and at the time that I was working as summer employment with LaUna, I was actually going through the scholarships for individuals that had applied. So we were going through and making sure they had all their documents required for the scholarship application.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you had a sister?
I do have an
have a
older
sister.
sister. Yes.
Anybody else?
No, just the two of us.
Just the two of you.
We're 9.5 years apart.
So LaUna did play a big role in your life. You also mentioned that your dad would be home frequently in between layoffs, right?
Yes, yeah.
So that's huge. You attended elementary school where?
I attended elementary school at Roundtree Elementary School in Brampton.
Brampton.
Yes.
And high school?
High school is Fletcher's Meadow Secondary School.
Yeah. What kind of student were you, say, in grade 2, 3, 4?
I was a good student. I really had to work hard in school.
From the beginning?
From the beginning. It never really came easy, which I think is good. It helped me persevere now. So I worked really, really hard.
Yeah. high school, you progressed, obviously.
Yeah, high school I progressed. I think that's where I really flourished. I had a lot of opportunities being in flag football, on the wrestling team, in school plays. I was really a big drama student, which helped me with public speaking. So it really influenced my career.
What were your favorite subjects in high school?
High school, I would say gym, English. Those were my two
Yeah,
favorites.
yeah. So you did also drama.
Yes, I did drama as well.
Did you do? Did you get involved in theatrical productions?
Yes, so we would do school plays. So we actually did a school play about the history of Fletcher's Meadow, and myself and another student, we were kind of the narrators throughout the play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of activity that where you really learn discipline, don't you?
You do learn discipline,
yeah.
and I'm very introverted, so I'm a very shy individual.
not introverted.
I am.
Look at that smile.
I know, it fools people, but it really helped me come out of my shell.
Yeah.
And that's helped me now too. So I really do owe it a lot to drama and to my teachers.
Well, you give the word introvert a new meaning for me. So you went on to Tyndale University.
Yes.
Where is it?
It's in Toronto. It's a private university.
Bachelor of Arts in Human Services.
Yes.
Human Services. What's
So human services is like the umbrella to
there's a
social
wide
work
range of
and
things,
social services.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of psychology, social sciences, how to interact with individuals in society.
Yeah. And this when you went into this VA, you already knew what you wanted to do in life?
I've always kind of known what I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
Criminal justice and law enforcement is a huge passion of mine.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a matter of the steps that I wanted to take to end up in the profession that I want.
Yeah.
So it was a great stepping stone to learn about my community.
So human behavior is something you're interested in, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You got a diploma in social services at Seneca College.
Yes.
So it's the same, roughly the same.
Yeah. Just
thing,
more
theme?
specialized.
It is?
Yeah, it was an accelerated program, so it was conjoined with my university. So within the 4 years, I was able to get a degree and a diploma.
Ah,
Yeah.
at the same time, eh? Mm-hmm. Wow. Now, there is one here that intrigues me. A certificate in American Sign Language.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's always been something I was really passionate about, the deaf community and being able to communicate in sign language. I think there's a lapse of people who are able to communicate to deaf individuals. When I was in university, it was actually a course I could take as an elective. So I took it to see if it was something I was interested in, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So then I just continued to do a certificate in it.
Is there any specific reason why you're interested in this type of challenge?
I think
Anybody in the family that may...
no, nobody in the family.
No.
I think just that there was a gap in our community.
Okay.
There's not a lot of, individuals who can communicate in sign language. So that's a huge barrier for a lot
Yeah.
of people,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of people in the criminal justice system.
So you actually learned how to communicate
Yes.
to this day?
Yes.
Wonderful. Has it served you in any practical way, or is it something that it's there waiting for its right moment?
It's a little bit of both. I've had clients who are deaf, and I've been able to communicate with them, and they're always surprised, like, wow, you can communicate with me,
Yeah.
which is nice, but it's there. It's a tool that I have that I can use.
Okay, and then you worked towards a trauma certificate, right?
Yes.
At Laurie University.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still currently working on their certificate. Yes.
Trauma certificate. There are all kinds of traumas. Specifically, what kind of trauma are we talking about?
So I currently support victims of crime.
Okay.
So they've experienced something very traumatic in their life. So it's trauma related to victims.
More psychological? would you say?
Yeah, more psychological
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But that emotional side and the impacts it's
Okay.
had on their life.
Yeah. So you're still working on that? When are you
Yes.
finished?
It's a part-time program, so I just take course by course. So there's no, finished date per se, but
Yeah.
you just work course by course.
Sorry, when are you finishing it? Do you know?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just take it course by course, and then once you get up to the number of courses that you're required, you've kind of finished it. So you go at your own pace.
Of all your experiences, let's go back to elementary school. Which activity, which interest, if you like, defines you the most, you'd say? Choosing something that says it's me at its best.
Good question. I think two things. I've been very active throughout my life, and wanting to go into law enforcement, you need to be active. So that's
Yeah.
had a huge impact. And you have to have discipline to be able to continuously be active, but also drama.
Yeah.
I really think my arts classes really shaped who I am and the ability to be able to do what I do.
Have you been able to practice the drama
I wish.
thing?
No, since high school, it kind of closes its doors. I wish I was an actress, but I'm not.
Yeah, but do you see yourself? You're still very young.
Yes.
Do you see yourself going back to drama school and pursuing an acting career on the side, let's say?
It would be nice. It's never been something I've actually thought about, but I use it more in platforms such as this.
Yeah,
So it serves its purpose for sure.
yeah. Okay, now we're going to go to a brief commercial break. But before we do, I just want to say that in 2013, we mentioned that you received an important award. We're going to talk about that and much more after a 1.5 minutes of commercial break. It's called Brief Boss. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Go Live TV, the first intercultural IPTV station that broadcasts over 50 shows in 22 different languages. Here at Go Live TV, you can now book your event at our venue. We have green screens, multiple sets and backdrops, including a fully equipped kitchen and a news studio, a photography booth, podcast and radio station, a stage with a 9x14-foot video wall, and much more. Book our studio now. Go Live TV, the only multimedia one-stop shop, offering everything you need to take your event to the next level.
We're back with Alyssa Gill. And we mentioned this before, that in 2013 you received a very important award that seems to have been a game changer for you. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you this question, but I already know what the answer is. I just want to hear you say it. What kind of award was this?
This was a 4-year scholarship award to help go towards post-secondary education.
Yeah. From Layuna?
Layuna, Local 183.
183.
Yes.
So, boy, they really are family, aren't they? Why did you apply? I guess you had been, during your summer jobs with them, you were already very familiar with this award program. And they got to the point where you applied.
Yes.
What motivated you to apply?
I really wanted to go to post-secondary.
Yeah.
I wanted to continue and work towards my career, and financial supports are huge, right? Like, post-secondary education is very expensive.
Yeah.
So even having just a little bit of help to push you towards your dreams, it was a great opportunity to apply, and already so much a part of Layuna.
Yeah, that it was almost like a normal thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We'll talk a little more about this award, but we're told that the process of choosing the winners is not as simple as it might seem. Before we continue our chat, we're going to have a very brief clip from Christian McNeil. He's the local 183 Trust Fund director, I guess, and he explains the selection process of these scholarships. Let's watch.
It is a very confidential process. It's very transparent. Any member's child can apply, and unfortunately, not everybody is a winner. So there is a grading process. You know, it's not just an academic scholarship. You know, it's weighted heavily on academics, but it also takes into consideration the community involvement. They write an essay that's usually something to do with unionism and volunteer work and community work.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the requirements for the application is an essay. You wrote an essay. Community work.
Yes.
By that time, you had done already quite a bit of community work.
Yes. I've always volunteered, so I think that's really helped as well to be able to understand how community work works and what that process is like.
Yeah. But overall, why do you think you were selected? Because there's a lot of applicants.
There are.
Hundreds sometimes.
Yes.
And you were one of the chosen ones.
Yes.
Why do you think you got it? Do you think your father went behind your back and said,
I would hope
"Choose
not.
my daughter"?
I would hope not. I don't think that's something you would
No.
do. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just so grateful that it was an opportunity that I had.
Yeah. But I'm sure it had to do with your volunteer work, your school marks.
Yep, it plays a factor. Certificates that you've received in school plays a factor for sure.
Involvement in extracurricular activities like sports.
Yes.
And the volunteer work. How much money did you get? You remember? 4 years. Was it? Normally it's 10,000.
Yeah, I think it might have between 5 and 10. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
This helped a lot, eh?
A lot.
If you hadn't received this scholarship, would you have? I don't mean to pry into your finances, but it would have been a little more difficult, right?
It would have. I'm the first person in my family to graduate university.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so it was a huge help.
Wow. Okay. Now, we talked about your dad quite a bit. He must have been a great influence in your life.
Yes.
Unfortunately, in 2022, he passed away.
Yes.
Suddenly.
Very suddenly.
How did this happen?
I wish I knew. We had 3 weeks to say our goodbyes. And actually next weekend will be the 1-year anniversary of his passing. Yeah. It started with thinking he would need a liver transplant, that his liver was failing. And then it turned out that cancer had taken over his body and spread throughout his lymph nodes. And so we had 3 weeks.
So this was a short illness.
It was very short. He's had a history of liver disease, and it's in his family, but the cancer was something new and something they didn't detect, and that we found out, and it all happened so quickly.
What a shock, eh?
Yeah.
I can imagine the shock and the sadness.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen a few pictures which we're going to be shown throughout the interview of you and your dad. I can see a real strong connection between the two of you.
Yes. We were best friends. We look alike. So we would always say, you're my twin. Hi, twin.
You're talking physically?
Yes. Yeah. The facial features, we look a lot alike. So he had a huge impact on my life, and he passed, too soon. He had 1 year of retirement from LiUNA, and then he passed.
So he didn't enjoy much of his retirement?
No, 1 year. And then 11 days after his death, my first nephew was born. So just a lot of change.
The cycle of life.
Yes.
And children come to give comfort as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was going to ask you how you've been coping with this grief, because I know you were affected. When I read your bio, I see that you've probably coped in part with your grief by staying connected to the Layuna family, which was very important for your dad.
Yes.
And his legacy was the Layuna thing.
Yes.
Wasn't it? How
Yeah.
do you stay connected to Layuna? Because in your bio you say that you want to be connected to honor your dad.
Yes. You know, it's funny that when I got the phone call for this interview, it was almost 6 months after his passing. And
Yeah.
at that time, you're trying to process and figure out, well, how can I honor him? How can I remember him daily? And obviously, Layuna is a huge part of our family.
Yeah.
And so being able to be here and to talk about him and honor the way that Layuna has had a huge impact on our family, and, you know, next weekend being the year anniversary,
Yeah.
the timing is
It's an honor
impeccable.
to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
For that reason as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
We should honor our parents always, even
Yes.
after they die.
Yes.
Yeah. You're also honoring your dad by following, I think, I'm talking about your employment now, following what you've been training and studying to do. You're a victim witness worker
Yes.
with the Ministry of the Attorney General
Yes.
of Ontario. Now, I'm going to be very ignorant and ask you, what is a victim witness worker?
Yes. So I provide support, emotional and practical support and information to victims of crime within the region of Peel. So I help them navigate the criminal court process, provide them with community supports and resources, really that emotional piece and person that you need when you're trying to navigate. And I'm almost the bridge between victims and the court system.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
In your, or from your experience, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing victims of crime in Ontario today?
Ooh, that's a loaded question.
From your personal experience, though.
I think, unfortunately, the system is not victim focused. And so, as much as we like to say there are supports available, we really work in within a box, right? And so it's really difficult for victims to be able to access supports or to get outcomes that they hope that they would get from a criminal proceeding. So I think the biggest is that we really don't have a victim-focused system.
Does that impact on their rights?
Yes and no. You know, they have rights to information. They have, you know, the right to participate. But then you get that barrier where it's you have a right up until here, right? And so it's a catch-22, really.
Yeah. So in that box, knowing what you do, how do you really help them? How do you help them? Because there are constraints, and I can almost see frustrations on your face.
Yes, it's very frustrating. It's difficult, you know, working in a system that is sometimes against you. It's really hard, but you know, you do the best that you can with the information and the resources that are available. You do the best that you can to support them, to advocate for them. And that's really what my role is to advocate for those supports and the needs that they have.
Do you ever clash with your boss?
No. We work very well together. We're all fighting against the system.
Okay.
We're all fighting.
So your boss is on your side?
Oh, yes, yes. You know, we all want to make a difference. We want to make a change.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have limitations.
If this is another loaded one, but I have to ask, if you have all the power to make changes for victims of crime in this province, what would it be, basically? What would be the one thing that would be on your list, at the top of your list?
Loaded question. I would say housing. Housing for victims of crime, especially those who are fleeing intimate partner violence. As we know, housing is on the rise in the
Housing
GTA.
is now a big deal.
It's a big deal. And really, you know, for victims who are fleeing violence, where do you go? you have nowhere to go,
Yeah.
and supports and
Yeah.
wait lists for housing are a matter of 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Where do you go in the meantime? Our shelter systems are full.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Toronto, housing needs, there's a lot of talk now. Not just for Toronto, obviously Ontario.
Yes.
The government is talking a lot about housing and the need to expand and so on. So maybe the politicians are listening.
maybe.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Would be a good change.
Now we're going to go to talk about probably the best topic of this interview, your winning smile. This award in Brampton, this was 2012.
Yes.
So it was 11 years ago. So 11 years ago, you already had a winning smile. Actually, the one up there, you must have been 4 or 5.
Yes.
You're already smiling broadly. Tell me the story behind this award, because it's unusual, isn't it?
It is quite unusual. I don't know how I came across the award, but it was with Sterling Dental in Brampton.
Oh,
And-
okay. So the company.
Yes, a
dental, yeah.
dentist company. They had an application. You submitted a photo of yourself. They invited, all the participants to a barbecue. We got to meet the owner of Sterling Dental, and then at that time, I guess looking at everybody's smile, determined who would win. And I was just very fortunate. I was up against a lot of competition.
Yeah.
And so I won. We got a 1-week trip to the Dominican.
No.
Yes. So I took my sister and we had a blast.
All paid?
All paid. Yes. So,
Unbelievable.
yeah. When we were there, a lot of the people were like, so will I see you on Colgate packages now? I wish.
What did you have to do? Did you have to do anything for this dental company? Did you do any promotional work?
No, I didn't. It's funny that after I won, I guess they put up a plaque in their office, and I've been at the mall or Shoppers Drug Mart and people saying like, did you win Brampton's Best Smile? Because I've seen your plaque in their office,
Okay.
but I really didn't have to do anything. But
So they just made use of your smile.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah, good use.
Good
of your
use.
smile.
And I get to talk about them, and
Yeah.
it's really
Did
cool.
they become your dental service providers?
They didn't. We have a family dentist that we've been going to for years, but nonetheless, I refer to them. So
Okay. You didn't go back to boast about your winning.
no,
Yeah. Now, you went to the Dominican Republic. Was that your first big travel experience?
yes.
Oh.
First travel experience without my parents, being just with my sister.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Because in your bio, you say that traveling is one of your hobbies. Mm-hmm. So after the Dominican Republic, where did you go?
Next, I think we did like a family cruise. After that, I went on a school trip to Spain. So we did Barcelona,
I
Madrid.
think we have a picture up
Yes.
there that
That is-
looks a little bit like Spain. So
Yes, it's in Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yes.
It's a wonderful city, isn't it?
It's beautiful. And I've just continued to travel after that. I've been
Where?
to Greece. I went to Greece for a graduation trip with my cousin. So we traveled to 3 islands in Greece. I have lots of trips planned.
What grabs you the most when you travel to these places? Is it the culture? Is it the history? Is it the food?
I think it's all encompassing. I love it all to be able to experience something out of your day-to-day life,
Yeah.
to get you out of that routine. But, the food is
Yeah.
top
And you
notch.
continue to travel?
Yes. So
Now, Gill, the name Gill comes from where? Ireland?
England.
England.
Yes.
Have you been to England?
I have not, but it's a very prominent last name within the South Asian community.
Yeah.
So,
Was your dad born in England?
no, he was born in Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
His relatives,
Yes,
distant
it's
relatives
down the
came
line.
from England.
Yeah.
You also like hiking?
Yes.
you have a dog named Oscar.
Oscar, yes.
I don't think I have a picture for Oscar. What
Oh,
kind of dog is it?
I have tons of pictures. It's a cockapoo. He just turned 2 years old. I'm a big dog mom.
Are you?
Yes, it's my new hobby, training him and doing things with him.
Takes a lot of patience.
It does.
Yeah, a lot of love.
A lot of love, a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
So he's a great
Which
addition.
you've gone through all of those routines, haven't
Yes,
you?
yes. Nothing
Now the
new.
dog is the beneficiary.
Yeah.
And you talked about your first nephew,
Yes.
Oliver.
Oliver Jeffrey.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you include being with him one of your hobbies. So you're a family young lady, aren't you?
Yes,
You value family time.
I do.
Yeah, and so you spend time with this nephew,
Yes.
who is your sister's
My sister's son.
son, and you spend time with your mom as well.
Yes.
Okay. Do you still do volunteering?
No, I
No.
don't.
Okay.
No, my full-time job has taken up
Yeah.
all of my cup, everything that
Yeah.
I have. But it is something I'm still very passionate about.
Yeah.
And I hope I can get back into.
Yeah. Now, do you have any plans other than what you're doing? Anything down the line that you'd say, I don't know, acting?
Maybe.
I keep pushing it because I think
know.
it's such an interesting activity.
Maybe. This is definitely not, the end for me. It's not, this was just a stepping stone in where I want
Yeah.
to end up. Law enforcement is a huge passion of mine. So I hope to one day be in law enforcement and be able to, make change and provide all of the
Don't
experience
tell me
that
you
I
want to
have.
become a police officer.
I do.
I have a picture here of you on a motorcycle.
Yes.
You look like a police officer. What's the story here?
It was actually a fundraising event that they had that I was volunteering at with a different agency I worked at, because we worked in partnership with Peel Police. So they had the motorcycle and the jacket, and I said, hey, I'm going to hop on and get a picture. So it's kind of the stepping stone, yeah.
Whatever you do in life, I wish you, I was going to say luck, but I don't think you need luck. You make your own luck, don't you?
You have to.
Yeah. And I, again, am very honored that you were here in part to reminisce about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It touched me, and I thank you for that feeling.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. And hopefully we'll see you maybe as a police officer out there
Maybe.
fighting crime,
Yes, or maybe on
saving
TV.
the world.
Yes.
Maybe on TV. Maybe on TV as an actress, right?
Maybe.
So much to live for, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
So much time.
It was cool being here with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, audience, for being with us. Till next time. Thank you.